What if I told you that the reason your manifestation hasn't shown up yet isn't because you don't want it enough, it's because of the way that you're approaching it? I want you to think of manifestation like this. You are a projector, and your internal world is causing you to project out a movie onto a screen. That's your current reality. Now, if you change the movie in the projector, aka what you are internally processing and how you see and move through the world, you can change the movie on the screen. In other words, you change your reality. And just by shifting your internal world, it will change the way that you manifest. Because there are two ways that we can manifest. We can approach it through force, or we can approach it through receiving. There are two types of people when it comes to manifesting desires. The first type of people are the pushers. They try to make it happen by sheer force. They strategize, they obsess, they hustle, and yes, eventually they may well get what they want, but it usually can take quite a long time. And when it does finally arrive, it often doesn't look exactly like they'd hoped, leaving them feeling tired, unfulfilled, and even a little bit resentful. Then there's the second type of people. And these are the people who know how to allow. They flow with the universe. They don't sit back and do nothing. They still take action, but it feels inspired, easy, obvious. They're in sync with life. Instead of pushing against often resistance, it's like they're being carried by a current of energy already moving them towards what it is that they want. And here's the really interesting part. The difference between these two approaches can literally collapse time or extend time. The first person may take 10 years to manifest their dream, but the second might get there in 1 or 2. Let me give you some examples. Pushing action looks like applying for 100 jobs a week just to get any offer at all. It's exhausting, and when the offer does come, it might not feel right. Received action is when you get a sudden nudge to reach out to a friend, and that conversation leads to a dream role that feels like it was made for you. Or still applying for jobs, but applying to 30 jobs that feel really, really good and spending enough time to nurture the ones that you really want. Pushing action looks like going on endless dates, changing yourself to be liked, and second guessing if you are good enough. Whereas received action is when you follow what lights you up, and you're in alignment with yourself, and suddenly you meet someone in the most random, effortless way, and it just clicks. Pushing action is pushing to make more money, take on more clients that you don't love, and overworking yourself to the point of burnout in something that maybe isn't even quite aligned. Received action is when you do work that you truly love, that's in line with your values. You create the content that you really want to create, and suddenly clients seem to just fall out of the woodwork. They come to you because you're in line with the flow of the universe. Do you see the difference here? Both are taking action, but one comes from ego and force and lack a lot of the time, while the other one comes from inner authority, flow, and trust. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to shift from forcing your way there into allowing your manifestation to arrive with so much more ease. The first thing that you have to understand is the process we go through to manifest anything. Step 1 is always where the desire is planted and submitted into the universe. You decide, okay, this is something that I want. I don't have it right now, but I feel the pull to bring it into my reality. Now, something that's important to note is desire in itself is inherently born from lack. A lot of people say like we can never feel lack because we've always got to stay high vibe, but in order for us to desire something, we first have to experience not having it so that we can desire it. It is the space between us not having something and wanting something that creates desire. It creates momentum that drives you forward towards what it is that you want. So you set the intention into the universe. This is what I want to manifest. And that moment creates instant manifestation because somewhere, call it a parallel possibility, call it the quantum field, that reality has already begun and the bridge of events has started to form. The synchronistic moments that appear into your reality seemingly out of nowhere, which I have another video on, by the way. And if you choose to follow them, to step onto the bridge and walk across it, your manifestation arrives much sooner. If you're on a true bridge of events, you are in receiving action. Every single step is received. It is not pushed action. The second part of manifestation is how we start to then perceive reality and walk through our everyday life. Now, what a lot of people start to do is they start to look at their current reality from a place of lack. They'll start to say things like, well, I only have this car when I want that car, or I don't even have a car at all right now. For some people, it starts to exacerbate things like, I'm in this tiny apartment that I don't own, and I have no idea how I'll ever buy my own place. But I know that when I do, that's when I'll finally be happy. Or I only have a small amount of money right now and I'm circling debt, but when I finally have wealth, I'll feel like a better person. What some people start to do is they start to place a lot of pressure on where they currently are and the lack that they are experiencing. They start to really sit in the space between where they are now and where they want to go. But that creates lack, more lack. And when we are trying to pull in our future, we want to be feeling the feelings of the future today. Someone that's searching for love may say, right now, I don't have love, but what I want is this incredible grand relationship where I feel admired, cherished, and treated well. And until I get there, I feel incomplete. Do you see the thing that's happening with all of these? So many people believe my life will get better when I get to that place. I will feel better about myself when I get to that place. I will be approved of. I'll finally be happy. I'll finally feel abundant. And I don't have it now. And that is separation. And it lowers your vibration. When you're focused on what you're missing and you feel dissatisfied and ungrateful and frustrated, none of those emotions are aligned with your future self. You're trapping yourself in this current reality by not being grateful for what you have now, because the truth is, you can feel all of the feelings that you want to feel right now. You don't need the money, you don't need the house, you don't need the love. You can find it in yourself, but you've created rules that say that you can't. You've created beliefs that say that this external thing or this external thing is going to bring you happiness, fulfillment, and freedom, when the only place that you can truly get those things is in yourself today. When you imagine what it is that you have, how do you feel? You feel grateful, you feel expanded, you feel free, you feel filled up. That's what we need to be feeling today. Because here's what we know about the universe. Time doesn't exist in the way that we think it does, which means that your mind doesn't know the difference between what is happening right now and what we vividly imagine in the future. Our bodies literally don't know the difference. There are studies that prove this, that our bodies do not know the difference between what we are doing in reality and what we imagine ourselves to do in reality. I'm going to do a future video on all of the tangible science that we have that basically prove that we are living in a virtual reality. So I'll leave that for another time. But just trust me for now when I say we want to be experiencing and remembering the feelings of the future today, because the impact that it has on our body and on the speed at which our manifestation comes to us is huge. So what do we want to do? In order to get over here faster, we want to imagine that we are already living our future reality today. We want to practice feeling the feelings of it today. We will then be signaling out to the universe, I already have this. And when we signal that out, it draws it closer. When you're in the space of, I love my life so much already, everything else then just becomes a bonus. When you're in that place, you're receptive. You are open to the bridge of events unfolding because you're not desperate, you're not in lack. So let's break this down a little bit further. If you're in ego action, you are taking action purely from your mind. Everyone has access to the infinite wisdom around us, but when you act from your ego, from your mind, you cut yourself off from the divine wisdom that's above you and say things like, my brain knows best. I have to figure this out myself. I need to control how everything's going to work and I need to plan everything. And the moment that you do that, you block the universal intelligence. You miss the signs and the nudges guiding you for what is truly meant for you. Instead of co-creating, you are manifesting from ego. And the ego is always asking, what's the best way? How exactly will this come? How do I control the outcome? And when you're in that headspace, you move from fear and approval seeking. You think, this path feels safer, so I'll take it. My parents will approve of me if I make this choice. This will make me more money. This is the thing that will make more people like me. This is how everyone is telling me that I should do things. Do you see the pattern here? Every single decision is filtered through fear, approval, or a logic, not from alignment. And from that space, you are cut off from receivership. You can't hear the downloads because your mind is so filled with your own thoughts, with your own fear. And the results leads to resistance, slow manifestations, and frustration because you're working 10 times harder than honestly you need to. Now, let's flip it, where you're manifesting and taking action from your inner authority, where you're in received action and it feels completely different. The universe is still all around you, but this time your head, your mind is open to it. It's like when your hands are turned upwards instead of being clenched. You're not forcing, you're surrendering. You're asking, what do I need to do right now? What feels good for me to do right now? And in that space of openness, you create space for the universe. It sends you synchronicities, it sends you nudges, it sends you signs. You feel intuitive hits that say, this is the right move. The key is you start trusting your body's yeses and nos. And when you follow that, everything else flows. To put this in perspective, you may have felt the moment of flow before, the moment when you're working on something and time just seems to disappear. Hours start to feel like minutes. That's called a flow state, and psychologists have shown how time perception literally changes when you're in a state of flow. What should have taken 5 hours feels like 30 minutes to you. That same energy applies to manifestation. When you're in flow, you stop pushing, you stop forcing, you step out of the way and allow things to come to you. And then all you have to do is take action that feels right and aligned. And here's where the real difference shows up, in the questions that you are asking yourself. When you're in ego action, the questions sound like this. I need to force this to happen. When is it coming? Exactly how will it arrive? When will it arrive? Can I control how fast it's going to get here? You'll also ask, how exactly is this coming through? Through which person? Through which path? What's the next step? You'll try to map out every detail as if you had control over all the moving parts. But the truth is, you don't. When you obsess over the how, you end up overthinking everything. You even start asking, what should I do? Instead of asking more powerful questions like, what actually feels good for me to do? Now compare that from manifesting from your inner authority. Here, you believe the bridge has already started unfolding. It's already yours. You just need to step into it. This is the law of assumption in action. You assume it's already yours on its own timeline, and your role is to simply receive and take aligned steps from that place. So instead of frantic, controlling questions, you ask, how can I allow this to flow? What feels right for me right now? What opportunities are already showing up for me? Do you feel the shift? One set of questions creates pressure and resistance, and the other opens the door to flow, alignment, and speed. Let me give you a real-world example from my own business. Recently, I felt this strong pull to focus primarily on my in-all membership and YouTube, to pour energy into the projects that honestly I truly love. That felt so good. But then another voice came in. It said, wait, why don't we launch a mastermind? That would generate quick cash. It's easy, we've done it before, it used to be our business model. So I started pulling together all of the pieces with my team to launch a mastermind. But halfway through, I realized something. This doesn't feel good. In my body, it felt like a push energy, like something I should do, not something I truly wanted to do. Yes, I've done it before. Yes, it would be simple, but going down that path would delay the projects I was most excited about. And logically, it made sense to make that move. A lot of people would say that. Of course, take the cash injection. But I had to ask myself, what if doubling down on the thing that actually felt more aligned to me actually created more visibility and more money in the long run, when I wasn't focusing on just the money, but I was focusing on impact and what was important to me? That's what manifestation requires, trusting alignment over logic. So I decided not to launch the mastermind, even though it didn't make sense on paper. And here's what happened. Within 1 week of focusing only on what I loved, people started rejoining the membership. My YouTube channel started growing rapidly. I passed 1,000 subscribers in literally days, all because I chose to flow with the universe instead of pushing for what I thought I should do. And that's a very subtle difference, but it's profound. And sometimes misalignment is a quiet whisper that just says, this doesn't feel quite right. But if you keep on ignoring that feeling and keep pushing, you create more resistance. That's exactly what would have happened if I'd launched that mastermind. So let's talk about what really happens from these two approaches. When you're in ego action, life feels like it's happening to you. You slip into victim mode and you catch yourself saying things like, I hate my reality right now. It's so annoying that I'm stuck in this flat. I have no money. You treat your circumstances as proof that you're powerless. And in that space, you stay stuck and in negativity. You start either living in the future, things will get better when I finally get there, or replaying the past. If I'd only done this differently, I'd be in a better place today. But here's the truth. You're not living in the present, which is what manifestation requires you to do. Manifestation only happens in the now. And when you're ungrateful for your current reality, you tune into lack. And lack creates low vibrational feelings, the kind that repel your desires. From that state, you keep acting as the version of you today, controlling, pushing, making decisions out of anxiety instead of your future self. Now, when you move into your inner authority, everything starts to shift. Instead of being a victim of your reality, you step into the empowered creator, the writer, the movie maker of your life. You start to see that life is happening for you, not to you. Even when something hard is happening, you see it as a gift for your development that is leading you closer to where you want to go. That shift then allows you to open the door to more positive emotions. It allows you to feel gratitude, not someday in the future, but today, for the life you have right now. And it allows you to become more present. Instead of saying, life will be better when I get there, you start to experience the feeling of what your life would look like today. You're able to accept your current situation much more easily, and you've stopped saying things like, when I get there, I'll be so much happier, and you found the happiness and the freedom and the feelings of joy that you're craving today. When you're acting from this place, you are feeling feelings that are positive on a day-to-day basis, and because of that, you're able to act as though you are your future self. You are taking action because it is in alignment with who you are in the future. And all of those things are what places you on the bridge of aligned events that leads you exactly where you want to go faster. Here's a simple fact to summarize this. Whenever you are manifesting something new, you are always starting from a situation that you don't fully want. That's just the truth. You want a different future because your present feels incomplete in some way. So let's take an example. Say you want to own a house, but right now you're renting in a flat. Well, the fact is, you're in that flat today. That is your reality. The only thing that you can truly control is how you respond to that situation. If you keep complaining, resenting, feeling frustrated, telling yourself how unfair it is that this is your reality, you will stretch out the time it takes to get to your manifestation. Why? Because in that state, you are in victim mode. You're not tuning into your future self. You're not cultivating gratitude. You're reinforcing lack. But if you decide, okay, this is where I am, how can I feel good being right here, right now? How can I find gratitude even in this space? Something powerful happens. You anchor into gratitude now. You begin to experience the feelings of the future today. And that alignment is what collapses time. It attracts your future to you faster. So how do we actually step over into inner authority? How do we move from ego-driven action into received action? First things first, we want to find the gift in everything. Whatever situation you're in, look for the gift. Ask yourself, how is this stretching me? What is this teaching me? What is this preparing me for? For me personally, I've had some big T trauma in my life, and I had two choices. I could either become a victim to what's happened to me or see the gift in those circumstances. When I chose the second, I could integrate the wisdom and use it to move forward and to grow. If you can't find gratitude in the present, it's almost impossible to step into your future self. Number 2, daily breathwork. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Breathwork regulates your nervous system and expands your capacity to receive. Studies show it lowers anxiety, it lifts your mood, and it increases positive emotions. And when you're feeling good every single day, you naturally start to see more of the gifts in life more easily and expand your gratitude. If you already had your manifestation, you'd feel grateful and full of love. Breathwork lets you access that state today. It also shifts you out of overwhelm fast and drops you back into neutrality in minutes. Number 3, you want to be releasing deep fears and beliefs, because the truth is you can consciously want a manifestation, but if your body fears it, you'll block it. This is why nervous system work is vital. Say the bridge of events delivers a speaking opportunity to you, but you carry a deep fear of being seen. You'll probably end up saying no, not because it wasn't aligned, but because your body wasn't ready. We have to bring the body online with the vision. Number 4, imagine your future self today. Dr. Joe Dispenza's studies have showed that imagining your future self for just 7 days literally changes your biology. Neural pathways rewire, cells reorganize, and the body begins to believe the future is happening now. This is the power of remembering the feelings of the future. And breathwork helps you to drop into that state even faster. Number 5, work with your reticular activating system. This is your brain's filter which decides what you notice. If you are running old programs of lack, you'll keep noticing lack. But if you choose new thoughts daily, you rewire the filter. That's why I teach something called the authority activating script, a daily practice where you declare your future self. Over time, it literally reshapes your self-concept. And finally, number 6, learn to feel alignment. There's a very specific sensation your body gives you when something is a yes or a no, and it's different for all of us. But once you're in tune with it, you'll know. And here's the key. You must be strong enough to say no to ego action, even when it looks logical, because the aligned action, the one that feels good in your body, is always the one that will move you faster. So I hope you guys have a clear understanding of why we want to be moving from received action instead of ego action, and tangibly how you can start to shift from pushing to receiving today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. It means the world and really helps me to grow so that I can create more of this free content for you guys. If you are desiring to go on a deeper journey and you are wanting to attract in everything that you are desiring faster, that's exactly why I created the Inner Manifestation membership. We use breathwork and somatics as the main tools to help you shift into the state of your future self sooner. We help you to remove manifestation blocks so that you can stop sabotaging yourself and actually take received and aligned action instead of battling with overwhelm and frustration that you don't already have what you want yet. This membership isn't just about woo-woo practices. This is about helping you to take action that is going to bring what it is that you desire back to you. It is built on a method that has taken me from 20K in debt to millionaire and has helped hundreds of my clients around the world to completely change their reality. We have left all the information in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.